Good morning and welcome along. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Trade Along. It's 9:25 a.m. on March 22nd, 2022. Everything you do is for educational purposes only. Nothing to be taken as trading or investment advice. This service is called Trade Along with Saul. Saul's a veteran of the trading pits in Chicago for 25 years or so. He's actively scalping. We're focused here on the S&P 500 E-mini futures contract. It's a very highly liquid instrument. If you're not familiar with it, look it up on Google. If you need trading software or relationship with a broker to start trading, we can point you in the right direction. You can make your own decision. Trading is a very good way to make money sitting in front of your computer if you're good at it. This Trade Along live session is to help traders bridge the gap between being okay, maybe, to starting to put some numbers up for themselves during the morning session. Saul's going to give out his proprietary levels right around the cash open here as he pops in. It's going to give you a pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. These are his levels and zones. This is a setting of discipline for this morning session, which is a advantage to you as a trader out there. Trading along with Saul is an advantage to you as a trader out there. If you haven't banked your money at the end of the morning session here, ask for help. We can have a trading consultation with you. We can suggest. You can decide. Saul takes a select group of traders under his wing and teaches them his methodology in a private Zoom classroom, and then has you come in here to this Trade Along live session as a proving ground and an access point to him. This is also a standalone service as an introduction to Saul. So if you're new coming in, welcome. An introduction to this Trade Along live service, and then your opportunity to decide what you want to do as a trader. So we got some people that are looking to sign up today. I did send out the opportunity to do that. Yeah, Frank, if you had this for everybody too, if you have a trading technique that you are happy with, then having Saul's levels when he gives them out his pivot and his other levels on top and bottom of the pivot that he calls levels and zones is a real advantage to you once you get to spend time here and understand how good the levels are. But we let you make that determination. We don't push that on you. And we get great feedback from people about Saul's levels. The concept of trading along with a 25-year veteran trader of the trading pits in Chicago, focused on trading and scalping the S&P 500 E-mini today, is a huge opportunity for those that know the difference and can interact. And if you need a technique or you need your technique, in other words, if you're just not getting it done and you're unhappy with your results, Saul can take you into private class based on his mentoring and training and work with you to the betterment of your trading. So Saul explain his levels when he pops in. He'll explain his technique. And it's your job to catch on, sign up, and be part of it. And granted, it's not for everybody. Hey, Johnny Z, how are you? Osama, let's get you signed up today. Hey, Pat, Philip, Rand, looking for you. Hey, Richard, Roop. Hey, Anand, how are you?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Everybody hear me all right? Let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 44.66. 44.66. This is above at 74, 90, 83, 91, 4,500, and 06. Support below at 59, 52, 41, 33, and 24.
Hey, Hey, Saul, it seems like you're not coming in clearly and it's like something scraping around you. I don't know what it is, but
Pivot again is 66. Support below at 59, 52, 41, 33, 24. And resistance at 74, 83, 91, 45, and 06. All right, those are the levels that we're giving out this morning as a guide to the day. We can tweak those, we can add to them, we can adjust them a little bit. They're only a guide to the day, and the rest of it is based on the price action that happens as the market trades and opens up and gets price action opportunities along the way. The combination of both these levels and the price action opportunities that the market gives us creates the opportunities for us to scalp the market. We're looking for about I'd say maybe about 3 or 4 points on our trades this morning, given the volatility in the market. And it seems like we're kind of slowing down just a little bit here as far as volatility is concerned. Seems to go trading upwardly a little bit as, oh, nice little trade there against our 74 area, got up to 375 there and flushed it back down here really quick. We're still getting these flushes. And it was a nice no-brain entry and trade there. So we're getting 3 or 4 points. We got, oh yeah, again, we're not going to be perfect. We didn't get up to 74, got up to 375 and flushed it back down here. So hopefully you guys scaled in either at 73 or 3.5. Depending on risk tolerance. If you did have 74, it's a little bit more risky now. So be a little bit careful, or kind of wait for the 83 level if you're a little bit more risk averse. As a nice rotation there against our 74 area. Those are nice trades. Yesterday we had to work a lot of trades. Today, well, at least this first trade here kind of worked out very no-brainy kind of trade that we had here. You got to like those that you don't have to think too much or work too much. All right. Again, welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We give you our levels. The levels are there for us to be able to use as support and resistance areas like we talked about. They are there to help us guide us through the day of trading. We're looking for opportunities to scalp the market. Again, based on the volatility. Right now, we're doing 3 or 4 points on our opportunities, stops, and profit targets initially. Obviously, if you're trading more than one contract, you'll be able to maybe take a little bit more than 3 or 4 points in each trade. That's again is dependent on how you manage those trades, how you get into them, how many contracts you trade. Those are all individualized situations that you have to understand your risk tolerance and be able to take advantage of that. All right, so we bounced up here to our 74 area, had a nice rotation. And then now we're just kind of hanging up here at these highs. Again, we're trading futures contracts. Derivatives, I guess, is a new word for it that they like to use. All right, so again, we're looking for about 4 or 5 trades on average during the course of a day. If you've been trading here for a while or have been trading, you have been noticing a lot of opportunities here, many more than 4 or 5 opportunities. We also focus on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade. We believe that the morning hours are very important to our methodology that we like to teach. The goal of our course is for you to be able to do these, find these levels on your own, to find the opportunities to trade on their own, to even manage your own opportunities when you get to them based on your risk tolerance. And these are all things that each individual trader here is unique to themselves. So we have to find that equilibrium area that maximize profit potential for yourself. If you look at the chat box area, you will see the levels that we are using today as a guide. Like I said to the day, we can adjust those. You might have to cancel some of those. We talked about if you've been with us, if we miss a level and, it becomes, even though we had 74 right now and we got up to 375, the level did work. It's just a matter of were you able to scale in around the level. Sometimes we get the top end, bottom end of an area, and everything's good. Obviously, if we miss an area by just that much, like today, if you had 74, like I said, it's a lot riskier right now. And if you're more risk averse, I would not be taking the 74 anymore and be looking at the 83 area as our next level of resistance that we're going to be working. All right. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I think I've tried to answer and address some of the queries that were in the chat before we got in here and the market started trading. And if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. And if you look at the chat box area, you will see the levels that we're going to use as a guide to the day. As our next level of resistance up here is the 83 area. And we talked about, obviously, the 74 not being viable anymore. Well, hopefully you're seeing three charts, not just a GINA. Do you see the three charts up there? And those are three charts that we use as a course for our opportunities that we're looking for and scalping the market. Oh, no charts. Okay, well, thank you. Now you should see three charts. Those are the three charts that we're using to help us with our methodology of finding areas that we're talking about. We have from right to left, we have a 5-minute ES chart, which is mini S&Ps. In the middle, we have an hourly ES chart. And on the left, we have a 30-year bond chart. And we use a bond chart there to maybe help us with areas that, we look at the bond market that kind of might help us with our opportunities in the equity futures. Sometimes it's a little bit more defined than other times as we quickly come up here to the 83 area that we're looking at as our next level of resistance. All right, coming up here to the 83 area now. And again, we're going to use these levels are there for us to be able to find areas of opportunities to scalp the market. Looking for ebbs and flows in the market as they give us this opportunity in the market. Sometimes they worked out perfectly, sometimes they don't. So we are. That's why we have our stops in place, but we also have our targets in place as well. Again, we like to suggest that we scale into an opportunity only because that's what the market is going. I mean, we're not going to be perfect here, so we're trying to scale in around an area that gives us an opportunity there to get in case we're not perfect, like when we missed the 74 area by just a tick, but some of us were able maybe to scale in around it. If you were, you did okay. And we're working this 83 area now. Again, kind of the same concept. We didn't get up to 83, but we're working this area. So be a little bit careful here if you didn't have 83, and especially if we close out this bar here. So it's a little bit more riskier now. Okay, nice little rotation there against our, hopefully we're able maybe to get in against the 82 area with 82.5. and we're getting a nice little rotation here against it. Nice little 3-point move here. Hopefully you were able to get in. You should, if you got in at 82.5, which is our lower end of our chart, depending on your risk. I mean, some could have got in at 82, some could have got in at 82.5, some even, depending on your risk, maybe got in at 81 against our 83. Again, we're not going to be perfect. Kind of the same situation as the 74. You see how we just came up to it and then rotated off. That's why we like to talk about scaling into an area, and we're getting a nice rotation here against it. So the two areas here, our first couple levels of resistance that we gave out this morning is worked out really well. Like I said, they don't always work out so well. Yesterday we had to work around our areas, but this is this is what happens when you're trading futures. We're trying to find these areas that are important to us and try to find these opportunities for us to scalp the market. Anything that I say, any levels that I give out, any trading methodology that we talk about is a taught experience. We are teaching this in our education course that we have, in case you are interested in that. And like I said before, the goal of the course is for you to be able to find these opportunities on your own, to be able to know where these areas are, to be able to manage them according to your risk tolerance, how you get into them, how you exit them. And everything here is dependent on each individual, because everybody trades just a little bit differently. And again, because we got up right there to 82.5, obviously the 84 here, 83 now is a little bit riskier. Again, depending on how much risk you want to take, or how you feel the level of work. It's kind of the same kind of concept here as the 74. Again, kind of testing it, see what it wants to do. We got right now, we've got support back around our pivot there at 66. Again, if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, let's see if we can, if we have any other questions here. We are not trading options, so let's get that straight. We are trading futures contracts. So there's no puts and calls here. We are looking for opportunities to get long and short against these areas that we talk about, that the market will give us an opportunity to scalp. So we're not trading options. That's the first thing. And it's a totally different concept than options. Options, you would have to put up a lot of money to be able to get into positions. You have to hold positions. We are scalping the market around opportunities where the markets are swiftly moving around, where we don't have to hold a position very long. And the market will basically get us in and out of those opportunities based on the volatility that's in the market. So we're looking, so we're not buying or selling puts and calls. We are entering into short positions and long positions, and that's how you trade futures. Again, it's a totally different concept than options, where options you would have to, obviously put up a lot of money and be able to, look at all the variables that you have with options. So we're not looking at those kind of positions. We're trading the market based on fluidity and movement and the volatility. And we are in and out of opportunities when the market presents themselves for us, like against this hour 83 here, which we talked about as having some resistance. And depending on how much risk you're taking and how you trade, you were able to maybe make a nice rotation off of that 83 area. Well, not to toot my own horn there, Frank, but I think you're in the right place if that's what you want to do. We do offer an education course for anybody who's interested, and especially for the dynamics you're in. We have a lot of folks in your situation that are with us, and we'll focus more on the morning hours for us to trade. We focus on the first couple hours of the day to give us, on average, 4 or 5 opportunities to get in and out of, and that's when we're quasi volatility normal. The volatility has been very, very great lately, and giving us a lot more than 4 or 5 opportunities in the first couple hours of the day. Again, all dependent on how much risk you want to take. Everybody here has different risk tolerances. Not only do we show you these levels, how you find them and how they work and why they would work and how your exit strategy would be, but we also talk about other price action opportunities that are in the market that I don't talk about, that occur once the market paints some bars. And so that gives us the opportunity to get to 4 or 5 trades easily. Well, like I said, lately we've been whipping around so much with the volatility in the market that we've been easily getting more than 4 or 5 trades during the course of the day. But again, that depends on your risk tolerance and how you manage your own risk. And we talk about that in our education course if that's something that you're interested in. All right, well, nice rotation there against our 83. If you had your stop in and you still have a couple contracts left or 1 contract left, you're obviously taking a little bit more than 3 points on your trade. And I would cover some right in around this area here, around the 74 area, and then see if we can get back down to the 66 to cover the rest. Or you can have a trailing stop with any contracts you have left over and see what can you do. Obviously, right now I would not take a loss on anything. So again, everybody here trades a little bit differently. Nobody trades the same. There's not one right way or wrong way of doing this. You have to find the way that fits into your risk tolerance and take advantage of it when that occurs. All right. Well, again, I can't answer that question. I mean, I've been trading for a very long time, and everybody here always wants to know how much money you can make, and really that all depends on how much you're willing to risk. Okay, I have no idea what a decent amount of money is, because I've been trading around a whole bunch of traders who, decent amount of money could be making $1,000 a day. Another could be making $500 a day, and another could be making $10,000 a day. So you're trading futures here, and it all depends on your risk tolerance and how much you're willing to risk and how you manage those trades after you get into them. I'm not evading the question. I'm just being honest with you that I've been around a lot of traders who are very happy making $500 a day, $1,000, and some are not happy unless they hit 10,000 a day. And to be honest with you, I've been around traders who 100,000 is, is a break even for them. So what can I tell you? You take there's your range for you. I'm like I said, I have no idea. That everything here is dependent on each individual here, how much risk they want to take, how much they can handle, how they manage those trades once they get into them. So some traders can manage and handle risk a lot better than others. So, that is a very open-ended question that I have no answer to, only because I've seen way too many traders who have different goals, and everybody's happy with whatever they have. So you set your own goal and try to get to those goals as you see fit. We have the ability to work around all those areas. 1 lots, 10 lots, 20 lots. All right, there, Frank. You have a good one. So again, I'm not trying to evade the question as to how much money somebody can make here. All right. We have rotated off of this 83 very nicely. I think if we get above 85, I think the market might rally a little bit up to the highs there. Maybe our next level of resistance at 91. So we don't always fade the market. We have to let the market kind of set us up for a little momentum trade as well. Right now, I see that if we get above the 85, we might open up a little push to the upside there. All right, coming back down here, kind of just floating around. We have support down at 60, our pivot there, 66 to 70 area. Well, let's say 67 to 70. That's our next little area of support that we have. If you're looking to buy them. Let's see here. There's a small Richmond Fed manufacturing index coming out here at 9 o'clock in about 7 minutes. It's a small number. I don't think going to really affect the market that much. Powell gets aggressive. A bond sell-off is deepening after yesterday's comments from Jeremy Powell. And that's why the bonds here is a 148 handle. Over the last 2 days, they have really dumped on the bond market. And what did he say? Yesterday's comments from Jeremy Powell, which said that the Fed is prepared to act even more aggressively to tackle inflation. The yield on the 10-year Treasury soared 20 basis points to 232 since the remarks, leading to the worst month for the asset class since 2016. Meanwhile, the 2-year Treasury yield broke above the 2%, jumping 24 basis points above in the last 24 hours to reach 22.19. As the yield curve hurdles towards an inversion, or one of the best indicators for a coming recession, stocks are hanging in there despite the latest comments, closing in a positive territory yesterday, while futures linked to the major averages are up this morning as well. If we determine that we need to tighten beyond the common measures of neutrality, i.e. interest rates that neither hinder nor fuel economic growth, and into a more restrictive stance, we will do that, said Powell, announcing during a speech at the National Association of Business Economics. He even went as far as to say that the central bank is prepared to raise interest rates by 50 basis points at the next policy meeting. Consumer prices took a turn for the worse as February's CPI grew at 7.9%, representing the largest 12-month increase since January of '82. So somebody's asked, can they raise more than a quarter? They sure can. what happened to transparency? In my view, he said an important part of the explanation is that the forecasters widely underestimated the severity and persistence of the supply side friction, which, when combined with strong demand, especially for durable goods, produced surprisingly high inflation. Powell said at the conference. However, he's somewhat optimistic that central bankers will be able to engineer a so-called soft landing in which the rates keep the economy from overheating, but not so much that it triggers a recession. While some have argued that the historical stack of are stacked against achieving this, in the last three episodes in 65, 84, and 94, where the Fed significantly raised rates without a downturn. I hasten to add that no one expects that to bring about a soft landing with the straightforwardness in the current context. All right, well, it doesn't sound too good, but at least we understand why the bond market is doing what it's doing. As we are kind of hanging up here on the highs, we're looking at the next level of resistance we have is up at 91. Where's the VIX today, Don? I will venture to say it's probably around 23 or even less. We'll find out in a minute. 23.11, that's where we're at. And falling. As you can see, we start the rally and the volatility gets sucked out of the market. You got to be patient and wait for opportunities. Very important to be patient in this market and wait for opportunities. The tendency is to want to trade, and when the markets are flicking around, these numbers are flicking around, but you really would be guessing. At least we have these areas that we focus in on. And if you look at the chat, you will see those levels. Those are the areas we focus in on to give us our opportunities to trade. Don misses the 30s when we were in the 30s in the VIX. And they were just whipping around very fast, giving us way more than 5 or 6 trades a day. Giving us 5 or 6 trades a day in the first half hour. Well, we knew this was going to come back. I mean, for those of us those of you who have been saying, "Oh, this is too much. I can't handle the volatility," we knew at this point it was going to come back to some more, quieter trade. I was going to say same, but that wasn't right. There's no sanity in trading futures. All right. Investors are taking Powell's transparency as a step further to saying that he's just preparing us for the worst, whereas the bond market is saying, no, he's telling us he's going to do at least 7 rate hikes, and you aren't listening, said some analyst. For the long term, 2.3 on the 10-year is not such a high figure at all. Well, now they're saying, 2.3 is not too bad. What spooks the market is when you have very quick moves, such as what we are having now. Really, what a surprise. All right, so we'll see at least we understand what the bond market is doing. And kind of ironically, we are going up, right? So we'll see when that dynamics change. We are just kind of hanging up here against these highs. Patience is important. All right, the market here continues to uptick. We talked about a little bit of a buying opportunity above the 85, and we are getting it right now. Again, if you did buy them there, you're looking for a push up here to the 91 area. Again, if you did buy them there, you got 3 points here, so you're obviously going to take some profits along the way as well, but you're also maybe trying to see if we can get up to that 91 area as well. So we had a little, again, we also have a momentum opportunity as well. We have to let the market kind of set itself up for it. Okay, nice little opportunity there if you did jump in. Again, you're going to take profits along the way here. So if you did jump in and bought the 85, nice little push up here. We're looking at we're looking for a push up to the 91 area. That would be a very nice trade. But hopefully you're taking some profits here along the way as well. Right. I'm working this. We are selling this level of resistance up here. That's why that is. We were buying above 85, looking for this area. That was the first thing I suggested, trade I suggested here with this little rotation. So we were long coming up to here, and now we're trying to see if we can get short against this level. And if you just bottom, this is where you would exit, and you'd be happy. So again, two ways of trading. You could have bought them coming up here to the 81 area, or if you didn't buy them, then you're looking to sell here against our resistance area. So hopefully, you're able to do one or the other. Take advantage of the little trade that we had here. We did say we were buying it above the 85 before. So if you did buy them here above the 85 area, then you're doing okay. And you're exiting right in this area right here. All right, nice little trade. Well, we're working the trade. If you sold them up here, you're working that trade, you're working that level. Again, how you get in, we did get in there at 90. There was obviously, like I said, we're not going to be perfect. If you're going to trade the 91 there, be a little bit careful because it's a new bar. But hopefully we're able to get long there for the push up here to 91 and are able to take some profits against that trade. Again, the reason that we had the buy there at 85 was simply because the price action dictated that opportunity for us. And again, if we sold them up here against the 90, against our 91, again, we are scaling in. Like I said earlier, we're just missing those levels by just that much. Hopefully, if you did get in against 91 at 90 there, you're getting a nice little rotation here to give you our 3 points. We kind of had to do the same thing we did with the 74 and the 83, right? So it's not like a surprise now. We're kind of been doing the same thing. We're scaling into the level because we're not going to be perfect. Far be it from me to say that we're perfect around here. So hopefully we're able to jump in there and take a little bit of a advantage of the level. Whether you bought them at 85 and looked for a push up here, or you sold them against it and made a little bit of rotation. One way or the other, we gave you both opportunities. At least we talked about them. As the mod market here continues to downtick, I mean, pretty amazing that the S&P is just kind of discounting that they're going to be having this rash of interest rate hikes. I guess the market is accepting it and discounting it already in a positive note. All right. Again, nice little opportunity there for us if we did manage to trade either the long side or the short side against our areas here. Again, anything we talk about is based on the work that we do in our education course that we have. And anybody interested in that, please let us know. We'll get more information out to you. We do this every day, so we like to trade around here. All right, next level of resistance we have is up at the 4,500 area. All right. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. If we can repeat the levels in the chat one more time, we'll show those levels. Again, those are levels as a guide to the day. And we've done well with our resistance areas up here. They've been triggered and they've been working out nicely here. Let me give you some additional levels on the upside. Above the 06, we got 14, 25, and 34. Okay, so good question, Rand. We actually don't have an area above a level of resistance or support that we would be either getting long or short. The reason that we had this price action played itself out so that we can buy the level above the 85 in this situation, above the 83 area the last time. The price action dictated a buying opportunity. So we are basing the trade there that we got long above 85 based on the price action, not based on how far above a level do we get long or short. So that's not if the price action will dictate the opportunity, then I will kind of tell you. Again, the goal here is for you to find these price action areas on your own and to be able to determine when it's a buy, have a momentum trade, and when it's not. So the way where the market stops, where it rotates off of, how it does it against our 5-minute chart. So different. The price action that the chart the price action creates the charting opportunities for us. So we're basing it off of technical analysis. Right now, support would be around the 74 area. All right, market kind of topping out there against, I got up to 82 again, and then coming over to, and then coming back down here a little bit. We got support around 73 to 75. I wish I could answer that question for you there, Don. They've discounted everything as far as all these rates are concerned, as far as everything is concerned. I mean, like I talked about last week, on the weekly chart, we have to hold above these 4,400 area, and you basically have created on a chart to become a little bit more bullish on the chart longer term. If so, to try to understand what the market is doing is not what we're supposed to be doing. Especially, I read you a whole diatribe on why he's going to be raising rates, and they're going to be raising rates quicker than they thought before, and that the market is just discounting it all. It's pretty amazing, if you ask me, right? Pretty amazing, if you ask me. What's going on. But we're not here to try to understand. We are just trading the market. Yeah. Our next level of resistance is up at the 45 area. I seem to want to continue to rally here. And again, if where you got long, maybe if you did buy them there against 85, they did back down to 86 and change there. If you did want to jump in against that old 85, but again, very kind of risky or trade. But that's okay. We just kind of, again, but if that's what you wanted to do, if you were looking to get long, those are the areas that you're trying to find to get long. As far as the price action trade is concerned, really nothing stood out to give us a buy up to that 96 area. I've got support right now around the 74 to 76 area. That's what. Look, I'm not a Bitcoin expert. I'm not. I wouldn't be one that would have that answer, but that's what I heard. There is a limit as to what I don't know what the top end, but there's supposed if somebody knows the answer to that question, please feel free to jump in. But I think there is a top end of how many bitcoins you can mine. But I'm not, I'm not no Bitcoin aficionado here. That's for sure. All right, the market. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's if you talk about Bitcoin, you put Bitcoin and intelligence in the same sentence. Got to worry about that just a little bit. I mean, think about the phenomenon. It's only it's been around for 5 years. It's been crazy for 5 years. It's been around longer than that. I did tell you the story about my friend whose son was in his high school. It was probably about, I don't know, maybe about 8 years ago. And his son was very intelligent, but computer savvy kid, right? That's all. I mean, he was just a computer brain, right? I mean, he came and set up my my computer setup on the floor because he knew what he was doing. He even rewrote some uh, he I don't know, all I know is watching him maneuver that my computer was amazing, right? I mean, things I would never know how to do. He's rewriting some code. I mean, it was pretty amazing. He just did it like it was no big deal, and so he was very computer savvy. And back when Bitcoin was not Bitcoin, it was just things that computer, I want to call him a geek, do. He mined Bitcoin, okay, and he was able, and this is before anybody, and he went and told my friend, and he's just a high school kid. Hey, Dad, I mined, you know, 20 Bitcoins, and my friend's like, oh, great, what does that mean? Oh, they're like $100 a Bitcoin, and he's like, oh, okay, and he mined them on his computer. Again, this was before you have these farms of mining, right? Before Bitcoin became Bitcoin. And he had the 20 Bitcoins. And okay, that's cool. They're $100 a piece. All right, fantastic. My friend's thinking, oh, my son's, being entrepreneurial, making a little bit of money, right? Nothing wrong with that. Right. So, then the kid kind of grew up a little bit. He kind of went to college, and then Bitcoin became Bitcoin, and now he's trying to go back to his computer and get the codes, because you have to have a code for the Bitcoin, right? I guess. And he can't get into the computer and get the codes, no matter how hard he tried to get those codes from that old computer that he had the codes on. So there are 20 Bitcoins out there in some computer. But believe me, if there was anybody that you would trust to get those codes out of that computer, it would be him, because he actually knows exactly what to do and how it works and whatever. And he couldn't do it. So you can imagine, someone will do the math, right? Bitcoin, 60,000 or 40,000 times 20. It's out there in some computer in my son's, my friend's son's computer that he can't get to. So there's my Bitcoin story for you. But to make you feel a little bit better, he has a very nice job with a computer firm in the city, lives on his own in the city. He's got an apartment in the city. So he's doing very well for himself. The kid is, even though he could be somewhat of a, could have a little bit more cash. Was that, but 60,000 times 20 Bitcoins, that's almost $1 million, 1.2, is that right? That's pretty, yeah, that's not good. The 12 million or 1.2 million? No, it's 12 million. Phew. I bet you, like I said, if there was anybody who can figure out how to smash that computer and get those codes, it would be him. If you would take it to anybody, you would take it to him. That's how smart this boy is, and he can't do it. So there you go. 12 million. Ugh, he's sick. He can't even talk about that. I think when we first found out about it, Bitcoin was like at $5,000, $6,000, and it was not so bad of a loss. 12 million. Jeez Louise. All right, there's your intellectual conversation about Bitcoin. How stupid is that? Don, you would send your hard drive. This is the kid that you would send your hard drive to. If he can't get it, nobody can. That's how smart he is as far as his computer knowledge is concerned. This is the person you would send your Bitcoin to, and he can't get it off. Trust me. Trust me, my friend tried also. I mean, you should see him with computer. I mean, the kid's a whiz. I mean, absolutely amazing. $60, 26. So it's 1.2. Okay, good. I'm glad my math skills were. I haven't lost that part of my brain yet. That's more of an acceptable loss. How's that? See how things can be relative, right? You first say 12 million, and then you say, "Ah, no, that's not. It's actually 1. All right, well, 1.2 is not so bad. I can lose 1.2. I can't lose 12 million." As the market slowly continues to uptick, we got resistance at the 4,500 area. Amazing. And again, you got to see that the rotations here off of these rotations on the upside are very, very small. That's why we're going down to 3 points today. It's amazing. Like I said, it's amazing that we are at 4,500 considering what Powell said yesterday and how much the market is totally, totally just discounting it all. All right, trying to find its way up here to the 4,500 area. Again, market really did not give us any strong buying opportunities there. Coming up here like it did earlier with 85, like we talked about. All right, coming up here to the even area. I'm working this even area here a little bit. Again, remember, Don, we got the, we got the rally mode thing going here. So it's not, we're not going to get those rotations you're looking for. We're going to get the rally mode thing going. All right, nice little rotation here against our even area. Well, we got up to pop there to 0102, so you got filled on the top end. I'm working this even area here a little bit. Again, if you don't like the way it's trading up here, you do have a choice. If you're trading multiple contracts, you can get out of a couple here, or one or two, and see if we can get a rotation down, take a little bit of a profit, and work the rest of it. All right, getting a nice little push here. Again, if you got in at the upper end of the range on your rotation there, definitely take some profits here. Upper end of the range meaning if you scaled in around the even and maybe you're up at 01.5 and maybe you're going to take some profits against those. And a nice rotation here against this even area here. again, because of the fact the market's going up, and maybe you got filled on the top end of the range there. You're going to take, well, you got your 2 points right in here, so you definitely should take some of that and see if you have any contracts left over. Again, if you got in at the top end of the range, then you're doing okay as well. All right. Well, that one had to work a little bit, right? We had to work that one just a little bit. You got to remember we're rally mode, so rally mode is very tough for us, and we're getting 2 points here. Let's take their 2 points if we got them, and we'll go from there. If you have extra contracts, see if we have a stop, and then see if we can't get a little bit more than 3 points, 2 points on a rotation here off of this 4,500 area. Okay, we're working this area here a little bit today, right? And this one we're working. Not as easy as the last one, last few, but we're still getting a nice rotation. This one popped above the level by just a little bit to give us maybe a better entry point on some of our trades. Again, does work out that way. $45 a new high. No, we've been up here before. Markets have been up here before. So 4,800 is the old high. All right, nice rotation here against the 4,800 level again. And if you look at our chat box, you're going to see the levels that we talked about. Those are levels that we use as a guide to the day, and we've added already some to the upside as we never know which way these markets are going. Right now, support would be around the 81, 82 area. And as you can see, those are levels that we use as a guide to the day. And we've been doing okay with all our levels on the upside here. Yesterday, not so good. Today, a lot better, right? Again, this is trading is a process, right? It's just not one day. It's a collective day. Yesterday, we had to take our loss on one, and we have to work on another. And today, though, things are kind of just falling into place very nicely. But that's what trading's all about, right? Not every day is the same. Every day is new concepts, new ideas, new things affecting the market. You just never know what's going to be affecting the market. And like somebody said, we can't believe we're up here at a 45 handle. Neither can I. But this is what trading is all about. We're not trying to figure out which way markets are going. All we can do is trade the market. And that's why we don't have a bias every morning. We just kind of trade what the market gives us. And sometimes it gives us opportunities very easily, and sometimes we have to work around them. So it is what it is. All right, next level of resistance we have is up at the '06. And if you would have told me this was going to happen, I would have said, no way, but we are where we're at. What can I tell you? Everybody's happy now. Their portfolios are looking a lot better. Everybody gets so panicky when the market goes down, right? Stocks are going down, their portfolios are lawful. I get phone calls. What's going on with the market? Well, how am I supposed to know what's going on with the market? What do I do? I just trade this stuff. I don't. When it's going up, everybody's happy. I don't get phone calls. All right. Again, if anybody has any questions, good time to ask. We like to average about 4 or 5 trades a day. I think, well, here with all our levels, we've gotten 4. Just if you just traded our levels alone, we got 4. If you traded any price action opportunities, there's maybe a couple more that were dusted in there. We had a buying opportunity above the 85 earlier. So not a bad day considering it's only been about an hour and a half into the day. And again, we like to focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade. We feel that there's good ebbs and flows in the morning hours. There's good dynamics that suit our trading methodology. And that's why we focus more on the morning hours to help us with our opportunities. All right, the market is just kind of hanging up here, maybe flagging up here, maybe a little waiting for its next move to the upside. Again, the next level that we have is resistance up at 06. And we'll see what the market wants to do there. But the market is definitely, as we talked about, the VIX is down at 20, probably at 25 right now, or 23, somewhere in that range, low 20s. Things are very, very quiet, and it's trading that way. The volatility has been sucked out of 22.96 right now. Sucked out of the market, and which is fine. It is what it is. You just have to accept it, understand the dynamics of the market, and then trade it accordingly. And we talked about how when the rally markets are presented, they are trade very tightly, giving us, that's why we're back to about 3 points, 2 to 3 points on our profit directives here, goals. And again, 2 or 3 points is what we're looking at, especially when the market continues to rally the way that it has been. And if you do look at the chat window, you'll see the levels that we have added some more to the upside, as the market definitely has quieted down here quite a bit. So be a little bit patient. Right now, support would be around the 90 area, 85 to 90 area, and the next level of resistance we have is up at 06. And right now in the middle here, you just definitely got to be a little bit patient. And this is what I would call the no trade zone in this little area here. I'll get back here in a bit.
Hey, quick end of the morning session shout out to everybody. Great morning session. If you want to stick around, you want to learn from this service, you want to be part of this Trade Along Live, make sure you sign up and register. I just sent out some great discounted links for you. If you have some friends you want to come in, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. We're here trading days, slugging it out. Saul is utilizing a price action trading strategy. He is utilizing his proprietary scalping levels and zones. And again, if you want to be part of it, make sure you sign up. If you got a lot of questions, that's great. Just make sure you sign up. There's a lot that goes on here that is great information for those individuals that are looking for it. There's a lot of experience here. There is a great roadmap for those that are interested in taking it. If you have a trading strategy, great. Then exercise it during the Trade Along Live session. If you are looking or in need of a trading strategy that you're looking to count on and look to develop consistent profitability, then Saul can take you under his wing through his mentoring and training and help you work on that. It's pretty simple stuff. Trade Along is a separate entry into our service. It's expected of everybody that comes in here to sign up and be part of. And then the extension and other opportunities follow based on being part of this service first. So make sure you sign up. We'll be looking for you in the background. And again, tradealonglive.com, focus on the S&P 500 E-mini, futures contract, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. Looking to get it done early during the morning session, be finished for the day. And again, if you want to be part of it, sign up, and I'll be glad to work with you. Thank you.